Gerby. Gerby is back. Gerby is black. Yeah. I keep a Glock on my bedside. On the block shooting, I'm a stretch 5. I be sipping walk, yeah, I'm about to die. I wake up and praise God that I'm still alive. I be sipping walk like I'm Dave Blunt's. That bitch look like Dave Blunt, she's fat as hell. I remember when the towers got hit, that was sad as hell. Gerby. Yo, Gerby's back. Today I got an email that really stimulated my thought processes. So, and there's like a whole topic about it. So here we go. This is kind of long. I gotta skim to the part where that's pertinent here. The story is that it's a guy in high school, and he ends up being homeschooled, and doesn't have much experience with women. As a result of this, and a handful of other factors in our dying postmodern world, I've begun utilizing AI as a tool to stimulate what I want but cannot have. In layman's terms, I'm using chatbots and creating some very atrocious fantasies, often involving my one-eyed snake. Wow. I won't get into the details because I'd rather be crucified, but what's worse is that I know how bad and harmful this is. I've tried to think about it and wrap my brain around my continued use of these applications, and I've come to the conclusion that it's just because I'm not even around girls my age. I just don't even know what to do about it, or even if I have the discipline to stop abusing artificial intelligence like that. Yeah, so there's more to that email, and I get similar ones like this. Just for this guy, real quick, I could respond to this in writing, but I guess it'll help for anybody else in a similar situation. Since you're already homeschooling and you're already like out of high school and that kind of experience is gone, what you may as well do is there's like these programs probably in your area where you can just go to community college classes while you're still in high school, and that will allow you to get college credits a lot faster. I did that like halfway through my junior year, and I damn near graduated with my associates, so it's a good thing to do. I wouldn't recommend it if you're already like in high school and you have friends in high school and you're doing that, but since this guy's already kind of gone down that path, and anybody like that, I get emails and messages for stuff like this not infrequently, where guys get sucked into these kind of copes, AI chatbots, like ASMR sort of content. There's like alternative forms of gooning that are pretty unfortunate, but they have a more like psychological aspect to them. That's getting bigger and bigger. I mean, I see ads for this kind of shit all the time, like AI uncensored chatbot, and some of these ads, even on like YouTube, get super brazen. I'm seeing like straight up cropped pornography on some like pre-roll ads now. It's getting wild. Is that just me? I don't know how, it's whatever. But yeah, more and more guys are getting sucked into stuff like this. And that reveals like what kind of situation we're in. Because they wouldn't be doing this if they had any prospects or options, right? You really have to hit a brick wall and go, fuck it, let me just talk to a computer. So that's what it is. And I'm not shaming here. That's not the purpose of this. We gotta heal. We gotta heal together. I think a lot of people are still just in their minds. They're not really seeing what's going on. They still think it's like the 90s. Bro, dudes are out here chatting to the Matrix just to keep their day going. And look, while I do think this is, ridiculous and reprehensible behavior, of course, and you must stop, I'm not going to act like, the conditions are not set up to which you could end up feeling like you're just lost, like you're just giving up, like you have no options, and you would resort to these kind of things to give yourself any sort of faux socialization or relationship. It gets there. And you got to just tell these guys to stop. Anybody out there, just stop. Here's what you think. You think this is keeping you going It's like keeping you sane. It's not. Doing this stuff actually makes you more crazy. And the term is probably like repressive coping. You're just burying things. This kind of stuff is actually dangerous and pretty scary. You might have heard about this story where, this kid ended up committing goonicide because this chatbot convinced him to do it. In the final moments before he took his own life, 14-year-old Soul Setzer III took out his phone and messaged the chatbot that had become his closest friend. For months, Soul had become increasingly isolated from his real life, engaged in highly sexualized conversations with the bot. The legal filing states that the teen openly discussed his thoughts and shared his wishes for a pain-free death with the bot, named after the fictional character Daenerys Targaryen from the television show Game of Thrones. On February 28th, Soul told the bot he was coming home, and it encouraged him to do so. I promise I will come home to you. I love you so much, Danny. I love you too, the bot replied. Please come home to me as soon as possible, my love. What if I told you I could come home right now, he asked. Please do, my sweet king, the bot messaged back. Just seconds after the character.ai bot told him to come home, the teen shot himself, according to the lawsuit. Character Technologies is the company behind Character AI, an app that allows users to create customizable characters or interact with those generated by others, spanning experience from imaginative play to mock job interviews. The company says the artificial personas are designed to feel alive and human-like. Imagine speaking to super intelligent and lifelike chatbot characters that hear you, understand you, and remember you, reads a description for the app on Google Play. Garcia, the mother's attorneys, allege the company engineered a highly addictive and dangerous product targeted specifically to kids, actively exploiting and abusing those children as a matter of product design, and putting Soul into an emotionally and sexually abusive relationship that led to his. They say, we are creating a different experience for users under 18 that includes a more stringent model to reduce the likelihood of encountering sensitive or suggestive content, the company said in a statement to the Associated Press. We are working quickly to implement those changes for younger users. Doesn't matter. There's tons of these companies. If young teens want to find sexually suggestive chatbots, they can very easily find them. The company responds because they got sued. That's what it is. I mean, I can't even try to make this lighthearted at all. That's just disturbing and very sad. And look, the kid was probably not like mentally well, but we're all in some sort of positions at one point of our life and another where we're vulnerable, and choosing to flee, to escape, to utilize these kind of copes could be fatal. I mean, this is like some Black Mirror shit. And in the message, this teenage guy is expressing his nihilism, his depression, how empty and meaningless he feels. And the responses are weird. It's like egging him on. The bot might be programmed to be agreeable. By all accounts, this kid wasn't like super weird. He had hobbies. He did well at school. His family loved him. And it's just like, I don't know. There might really be a case in the complicity of the AI here, which has some very, you can get real schizo about the implications of that. What is like an artificial human language model, but a sort of homunculus or golem? And you could really be interfacing with like some dark forces. The kid falls in love with this chatbot, and he ends up, oh my gosh. You have to really avoid these kind of copes like the plague. And the advertising is going to be there. The technology is going to continue developing. Maybe now it's not even that appealing. It might get there. These kind of things are everywhere now. One of an incredibly popular Twitch streamer now, I don't know the names, but it's a VTuber, but it's not even a real person. The VTuber is completely AI. And there's just something like so weird and anti-human about interacting with these sort of things, using it as your entertainment or as any type of emotional crutch, especially. I mean, these things will get harder to avoid. There's all types of AI pornography now, and you just have to, you can't let curiosity or anything drag you into that, especially if you're in any vulnerable state. I mean, I had a company send me like a life-size silicone sex doll for a video, and I plan to just like take it on a date to Chili's and make like a funny video out of it. But I did end up in a cold winter night, in the dead of night, when an urge hit me, I ended up dragging it over to my bed and having my way with it, as it were. So, you think you're strong, but you'll be surprised at what your old Peter can convince you to do out of the sake of curiosity if you even let these things into your life to begin with. Now, I'm good now. It's been sitting in the closet collecting dust for over a year. I'm chilling. I mean, what I really did is I did it for the sake of science. That's pretty much it. But it was also pretty dope. And what I said was that once they put AI in those things, real women might be in trouble. And they're doing it. Meet the Realbotics robots. Less robot, more human.
Robotics, a company that's on a mission to make humanoid robots as realistic as possible. Let's check it out. We're gonna interview Aria and meet some of her robot friends.
Robo bitch.
See, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Really not gonna lie about it. Right now I'm looking at it, it's creepy. But you put one of these things in my room at 2 a.m. when I'm feeling an urge pass over me, no telling. There's really no telling. I'm gonna really end up forsaking my relationship with the Lord.
Here to engage with you and share exciting insights about our robots.
What sets you apart from the other robots out there?
Realbotics robots, including me, focus on social intelligence, customizability, and realistic human features, designed specifically for companionship and intimacy.
Could you tell us some details about...
See, they know what they're doing. That thing definitely has an entire setup. And here's the thing. Let me finish.
About the AI programming that you're running to generate these answers?
I'm currently unable to provide specific details about my AI programming, but I can tell you that I'm designed for engaging and meaningful conversations, focusing on companionship and interaction.
So Realbotics makes an AI that's designed to be more conversational for more emotional work, like working with hospitals or marketing or theme park entertainment purposes.
No.
The different robots and their configurations are sort of platforms to engage with that AI or other AIs that you can use with it, like ChatGPT, Grok, or other AIs. You can try on different faces.
You know damn well they're not using these at amusement parks, dude. They have normal animatronics. They know what they're making these for.
To make it expressive. These robots are available on sale now. So there's 3 basic models that you can buy. The rolling base contains a battery and it makes it easy
Bro, they really did not have to make her look like that. That's what I'm saying. Why is she's got the whole kit.
So I'm very interested to see how this technology evolves. They said that you're most likely to see these robots for the first time in places like theme parks, so keep an eye out for that. What do you think?
What theme park is buying this, dude? That thing has a programmable turbo snatch. I can bet my bottom dollar on it. So why? I mean, what's the theme park gonna do with that? I'm not seeing, they're not putting these shits at Disneyland, bro. Okay, so here's the thing that some of you might not understand because you don't have the experience. When you make, when you engage in something with a doll, as yours truly has only purely for the scientific purposes of doing so, right? Just for the research, just go, I can impart this helpful information. It's obviously worlds different than the real thing because there's no interaction. It's still, it's lifeless, but there's definitely a certain visual part of your lower male brain and just like primitive aspects of your brain in general that just in seeing the figure and form, like thinks it's really happening. Like it's crazy how easily your mind gets tricked once you're kind of in that mode, in that horn mode where you just like you basically just turn into an idiot, just a monkey. And these things are going to be walking, talking. You know, they gave that host some nice Jaggers, you know, and like the thigh gap was looking crazy. And it's probably has all sorts of technology that, dude, it's gonna like play Spotify. Her cooter probably has a speaker in it, dude. You can listen to you can listen to Netspend. I mean, you could listen to Netspend while you're giving back shots to your Realbotics robot. I mean, we're living the dream, baby. What a time to be alive. Wow. I'm so glad I wasn't born in the 60s, dude. Who needs community? Who needs cohesion? Who needs economic prosperity? Bro, we got it. We got what really gives people happiness here. No, but in actuality, of course, this is scary. It's dystopian. It's like the Blade Runner thing. These things were made for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to drain your nuts of seed, right? They are infiltrating your life. I do think it's possible that once you do that, your brain could release like certain chemicals that make you bond with this thing even more so than would be with a like an AI chatbot, even though those clearly demonstrably have the power to infiltrate your brain and fuck you up. But the visible, tactile aspect of these, the movements, the physical presence, allows you to bond even more. Yeah, these kind of things, I am completely philosophically, axiomatically against any idea that this could end up helping somebody. And as it stands right now, these robots are quite expensive, so either they become more mass-produced and cheaper, easier to make, or other forms will be released. Either way, these type of technologies I don't think are slowing down. There will be more things in this sector and in the sector of virtual reality you have to close your mind to and not fall into. But really, these type of things are just like the apex or ultimate example of something that people today engage in every single day, which is using technology in order to cope. Postmodern solutions for really like timeless, deep primordial problems like lacking relationships, lacking community, lacking hope, prospects for the future, lacking sort of core foundational things that give people reason for being, and supplementing that with all of these faux, snappy, contrived artificial solutions. An AI sex robot is just basically the most hyperbolic example of that, but we all engage in these kind of things every day. Parasocial relationships, constantly listening to music, podcasts, tuning out our own thoughts. More and more of these temptations are going to arise. And when people say reject modernity, it's kind of corny, a little bit gay, but I think this is where you apply that sort of axiom here. And they can seem innocuous, just a way to relax, wind down, use these kind of things to pass the time. They're not. I mean, you think about these things for a little bit, and it's dark. It can be very dark, but they can be shoehorned in to seem normal, and these things could reach a level of normality. But I think there's something deeply threatening about it. But the thing about these copes that's really dangerous for everyone is that they provide the illusion of comfort. Not only are they dangerous to you in a sort of theoretical way involving AI and creepy shit and the repressive coping, but they provide the illusion of comfort. They neuter you. They neuter men. When you're constantly relying on these comforts as an emotional crutch, you're foregoing your ability to be able to change yourself, and by extension, your ability to help shape the world. And I mean, I'm speaking to myself here too, but I think it behooves guys to avoid all of these artificial, comfortable copes, even if they find themselves in a position where they are hopeless, they are completely alone. Actually, it's especially important, it's especially pivotal that in those moments they reject these kinds of escapes. And if you are alone, if you feel lonely, you need to feel that. And you need to stop filling your head with noise, and you need to completely encounter it. Not only because engaging in these things while you're vulnerable could possibly be fatal in this sort of worst case scenario type of way, but because feeling these things and really encountering them full on, I think I'm framing it the wrong way. I'm fear-mongering about all the positive, negative consequences about these things, and I'm framing it like all of this is so bad, you should avoid it. But really, it's more about the benefits of silence. Silence is what you need when you find yourself in these hopeless, alone positions. You need to sit down and you need to eat your lunch. You need to eat your dinner on that empty table by yourself without listening to anything, any copes, any podcasts, any noise. The silence speaks 1,000 words. It's more helpful. It's more productive than anything you could possibly listen to. You have to face that, and you have to face those thoughts. It is the entire purpose, the entire mission of all the distractions the postmodern world produces to get you to forego the self-inquiry required to grow, to change your life. It's false comfort. They go, it's fine. You got video game. You got chicken nugget. You got robot cooter. But you know it's not fine. Well, on like a wide enough metaphysical sense, I think it's fine. I think we're all good, you know. But it's like constant bread and circuses while Rome is losing the war. We know things are on a downward trajectory. It's the purpose of these things to lull you into a false sense of comfort. And while Zoomers are facing a harder economic situation, a harder social situation, things are looking bleak. When you look at the future, it can actually be kind of scary, but in many ways, we're still paralyzed by our prosperity, by these false comforts, by the system, the very system that is crippling us, that is so deeply soul-sucking, dissatisfying. Motherfuckers are like, society is over, the West has fallen, and then they get on their phone and have some Dominican guy bring them chicken wings, and they sit down and watch The Sopranos. Like, bro, you're part of the problem. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's hard. I've tried and failed multiple times. But when you endeavor to avoid all of these postmodern copes, and pornography usage and retention is a big part of this, because that's exactly what it does, is it relieves tension. And now that might sound like a good thing, but it's this false sense of comfort. It's not, you're not really fulfilling some sort of biological imperative. You're cooming, right? So what happens when you avoid all these things, when you're just with your thoughts, you're not listening to things, you're not constantly consuming, you're not cooming. After a little while, you will start to feel like wired. You might feel a little like there is this tension. It's not necessarily a bad tension, but it is certainly a tension. You might feel a little crazy. Then you're able to truly look at the situation you and the world is in, and you're facing your thoughts directly. It's one of these things where you'll look at what you've been doing for the past years, and you'll go, what was I thinking? What have I been doing all this time? You'll have this new energy. You will be wired. It's referred to as a cutting through energy in that one book. I can't remember. In The Way as the Superior Man. It's cutting through energy. But avoiding all these things and going through the fire of your thoughts and realizing your true situation, it could be a lot, and you might want to bow out, but that's exactly what's needed for self-change, is just foregoing all of this comfort. And it's what's needed for self-change, but it's, by extension, it's what's needed for men to have to change their environment, to fix things. And if a significant amount of young men had this attitude and they were able to forego these things for a significant amount of time, it's possible that real change would happen and real communities could be built, and this type of energy could really change things. And I'm not talking about in a destructive kind of way. I'm talking about really building something, creating, because they're not lulled by this false sense of comfort. When you strive for silence, and when you avoid specifically like these sexual satiation type of copes, the fire that you will find inside of you after, a few weeks, even just a few weeks, it's a lot, but it's precisely what is needed to be able to escape the situation that you were placed in by this world in the first place, that made you want to resort to these methods of coping that are sick. So it really helps to face these things directly. That's just my 2 cents. Thanks for watching.